Hello everyone, this is Panda. So I want to talk about something very important. Why are there people trying to cash in on the homeless population? What I mean by that, that's a documentarian, that's a photographer. I'm homeless too. But that doesn't mean that you have the right to try to cash in on my misery. With that said, everyone, I want to make sure that you understand why some of us activists in the homeless community must protect the other homeless from wrongdoing. There are people trying to create YouTube channels. I understand they're trying to emphasize what is going on in America or whatever you are, but you're doing it in the wrong practice. You're doing it in the wrong context. You're doing it for the wrong reasons, and I see it. So, I'm not going to say the YouTube channels, but recently I've been watching a lot of homeless new YouTube channels trying to emphasize homeless in America. And I want to ask you this question, gentlemen or ladies. Do you understand how to question people? Do you understand how to actually ask the right questions towards a homeless woman or man or child or family, that may be? But with that said, everyone, I'm Panda. I'm the Panda Photographer. If you didn't know about me doing activist work for the homeless community, I did documentaries. I won a reward for making one of the best realistic documentaries about homelessness in Portland. So with that said, everyone, I'm trying to emphasize. You can go to my website, you can check my credentials, you can check my work, but I want to emphasize why it is so wrong to try to profit over our misery. So there's a few YouTube channels that I haven't questioned. Because if someone wants to donate to some, let's say, a young lady in Portland, and there's no way to donate to her, but you donate the money to the YouTuber, does the YouTuber honestly give that money to that homeless person that literally gave up personal information to this YouTuber? Now, keep in mind, being homeless is a personal reaction and a personal experience. For you to take my experience and try to profit off it, and then don't tell me that you made thousands or hundreds of dollars off of your video of my misery is like literally using me as a scapegoat. So you can get out of poverty. And in fact, you should be literally saying, hey, go back to that homeless man or woman or child or family and say, hey, my audience literally donate this money and I feel like I'm obligated and I should do the right thing to give this to you. They wanted me to give this to you. I'm recording it. But no, that wasn't the case in another YouTube channel. So, with that said, everybody, a lot of people have questions about this YouTube channel. I donated, and this is the reason why I'm bringing this up, because in the comments on this YouTube channel, someone said, I gave you money to give to this young lady. Did you give it? But there was no answer. See? There was no answer. I've been watching the comment for the last week. It's been no answer. So, with that said, everyone, if you want to donate to a YouTuber that is literally doing what I would call freelance documentary work, but wants to cover homeless stories, ask that YouTuber, are you going to set up a PayPal or a Cash App or a Venmo or what's it called? What do they call that? GoFundMe for this person? Because, just to be honest, this is why I don't like to record people unless I have absolutely permission to record that person. I have to ask this person on camera, sir, do I have, or miss, do I have permission to actually document your story? Do I have consent to share this story? Do I have any intellectual property consent to literally share it? And if this video does make its rounds around the internet and people want to donate, would you want to accept all the donations that is given to you? Sure, that's what you're supposed to do. But no, I'm starting to feel that everyone wants to make and wants to cash in on the homeless population, which is the stories. And I'm sorry to say this, but as a human and then as my Constitution and my human rights, I don't need to share my stories with YouTubers. I really don't. I really don't have to share my stories. But I did share my story with the invisible people after doing my research, making sure they were legit. Because there are other 501c3s out there that are not legit, that literally would scam the homeless population. It scams its homeless population. 501c3s in America scam the homeless population. They don't treat their homeless population correctly. Look what happens here in New York City compared to Portland, Oregon. And Portland, Oregon, you don't have the resources like in New York City. But even in New York City, there's too many people living here. And this is why I say half of New York City is homeless. There's no way New York City is housing 9 billion people. There's no way. First of all, I said 9 billion. I meant to say 9 million. 9 million people. What about the 2.5 million that are homeless in the city? What about that? In Portland, there's no more than 1 million people, right? 1 million people, right? But did you know how they treat their homeless is really unethical? So you're female, and they control. Let me explain about bathroom situations in Portland. Portland is full of drugs, full of heavy narcotic drugs, needle use, heroin use, meth use, all that jazz, right? So with that said, everyone, they don't want people going into the bathrooms shooting up. So what they do is they say to the men, this is the thing, why a lot of men have, you can say some of the men in Portland, if you're a victim of police abuse, hear this out, men are told to go outside to use the bathroom, while women can go inside the bathroom. Yes, you hear this right. Men are told to go outside. If you stay like, for instance, let's say it's a bad snow day in Portland, and the convention center is open. Now, they tell the ladies that the bathroom is open, but men have to go outside. And now you go outside as a man, you piss on the grass or on a tree, and you see 2 police officers. Now you are being arrested for pulling out your junk and pissing because someone from the city just told you you have to go, or a 501c3 staff member just told you have to go outside and pee. Now you're going to get arrested for decent exposure, and now you have to register as a sex offender. That is so fucked up, and that happens so many times in Portland. Yes, if you don't believe that, that has happened so many times in Portland. But it doesn't happen here in New York City. People piss everywhere. No police officers giving out tickets. You see the difference? People pee everywhere. I pee everywhere. So, emphasizing this, ladies and gentlemen, why are you trying to cash in on our stories? Why are you trying to make profit or money from our stories? Why are you not being sincere about what you're doing on your content, on your channel? And this is why there's a problem about homelessness. There's a misconception about who is really homeless and who is not really homeless. I'm very transparent about my life. And I keep saying this to everyone. And I want to tell this to every single homeless man or woman. Listen, you don't need someone to record you to get your story out. You have your own phone. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, if you have an Obama phone, use it at your best advantage. I don't give a shit. It's shitty video quality. Long as you put it out on YouTube and you can share your own story and you can have your own audience come to your own channel, that works out better for you, not for the person that is creating money for themselves and not sharing it with you, because your story means a lot to the society more than that person. That person is only trying to get by every day. And that is a fair hustle, but it's also a dishonest hustle, because the dishonesty there was that this intent was to only make sure that that person stay afloat while that person still stays homeless while I make money off of their stories. That is not such a good concept with me. It doesn't fit well with me. This is why I don't do stories as much as I do, only if I allow that person to sign documents saying, I want you to sign this. What is this, sir? I'm going to release, I'm asking you permission to use your story legally. This is what I do on my channel. And this is why I get a lot of grief. Why don't you do a lot of, because there's a lot of New York City homeless people that do not want their stories online. There are a lot of people who do not want their stories online. They don't want to be known as homeless because it's embarrassing. That's the thing I was telling you guys before. 2.5 years ago, when I fucking started asking people for help. It's a burden. And it's a burden. When I was raised in Japan, it's a burden. You don't ask for help. You just do what you have to do. And this is why I was telling Lord Brian at the very beginning of this whole pandemic, this whole homelessness, I don't like asking people for money, friend. But I want to share my stories. And when I started out, I said, people, you have a choice. You can donate to only, at the time, I only had a PayPal. Then everyone kept saying, you should do GoFundMe. Nope, I don't like GoFundMe. Too many scams, too many people want to be in control of other people's stories and misery when this is our story, our misery. We should be telling it on our own record, not so other YouTuber. And I'm not trying to emphasize no YouTuber should go out there and record and try to get stories. No, what I'm trying to say is you should go out there as a legitimate person and announce yourself. My name is blah, blah, blah. I'm a so-called wannabe independent journalist or documentarian. I'm trying to get stories. Do I have permission on video? Do I have permission to record you and get your stories? If this video goes viral, would you want me to share the proceeds or the donations to you? Do you feel comfortable receiving those donations? That's what you have to tell the person. You don't hide the money from the person and then the person says, oh, I just saw the comment. You got a $300. This is the question on this channel. You got a $200 donation to give to this person, and then people say, are you going to give it to her? This is what I'm talking about, ladies and gentlemen. The abuse of homelessness. So I'm asking the homeless community, if you want your stories to be told, if you don't have a cell phone, you can always go to a library. Libraries now have the equipment that you can borrow for free, as long as you have a library card. This happens in Madison, Wisconsin. When people were homeless, Madison, Wisconsin built that new library, not just for the homeless people, but for the community. They want homeless people to be active and engaged in media, journalism, social, agriculture. That's why that library, that beautiful library exists. And people are not taking advantage of that library. I say this in Portland as well. You have a beautiful library in Portland. You have several beautiful libraries in Portland, Oregon. Take advantage of that, ladies and gentlemen. They have equipment that you can borrow. You can record 10 minutes of your conversation, upload that to YouTube. And I'm saying this to protect your rights. As a homeless man, woman, or family, you have the human right to say no. You have the Constitution to say no. You have your civil rights to say no. So please, for all those YouTubers now popping up, want to emphasize homelessness, you weren't doing this before, now you want to do it now? You see a cash, this is the problem, ladies and gentlemen. People see a cash grab behind homelessness. They see a cash grab behind it. It's so disgusting. It literally makes me throw up. You said cash app? You said cash grab because of my story? And I say this because I had just had YouTube just take down the same video that Invisible People made on another YouTube channel because it was linked. Because mind you, that video also is linked to my channel. So when it was notified that this person was using the content, I literally immediately reported it. Someone is literally trying to cash grab on homeless stories. That's how lazy they are. They not even want to get up on their ass. Or if they do get up on their ass, they're doing it in the wrong state of mind. You don't do it that way, friends. You don't cash grab on people's misery. With that said, everyone, homelessness is not just a problem. It's a mental problem across the planet. It can literally cause, first and foremost, I know from experience being out here and traveling and coming back and forth and trying to do something with myself. I'm not committing any crimes, no burglaries. I'm not harming people. I'm out here trying to hustle, out here to make content. But people out here on the YouTube platform literally don't like my judgment, literally don't like the way I approach things. People don't like how I see things in my own point of view. This is my body. This is the thing about you violate my constitutional rights and my human rights. This is my body. If I feel like I don't want to do something, I don't want to do something anymore. Especially after working for this country and another country for so many years, and this is what it comes down to, you feel disappointed. What's the point trying to work so hard? And I just posted on social media a quote about how humanity drives. Yes, humanity, you got to give humanity the benefit of the doubt. We drive on our own sorrows and disappointments, but we pick ourselves back up for that same reason. But there are people out there that literally want you to stay down and be down and always be a bit down, even if you're skin of color, Latino, and Asian. Let's be honest. If you're Latino, Asian, and Black in this country, yeah, you're going to see a lot of that abuse. But this is America. This is why I was comparing it from Japan and America. I won't see this much hostility, even though Japan has its own crime, and crime is increasing, mind you. Yes, crime is increasing a little bit. Young teenagers in Japan are being very reckless, but I digress. But you don't have a right to cheat and steal and make money off our stories. And I'm saying this because I want the audience to shut that YouTube channel down if it's being dishonest. And a lot of people on that YouTube channel literally are saying, I don't like watching this channel because it's not really giving us an insight. What's he really trying to do here? With that said, everyone, and please don't say you don't know how to sign up a GoFundMe for someone else, because it's easy. All you have to do is go back to where that person was staying, or when you interviewed that person, and sit down for 2 hours. Buy them lunch or breakfast. Go down there with a computer, set up a GoFundMe where they can get contact, their phone number, because they should be in charge of the GoFundMe. That's the point. All the money should be going to that person's either debit card or temporary debit card or temporary credit card or credit union or bank card, whatever. Bank account. It should not be going to your bank account. It should be going to that homeless person's bank account. So if you want to be honest with someone, you got to set it up. So with that said, everyone, if my audience 2.5 years ago taught me how to do it, which I already knew how to do, I just refused to do it because I really didn't want to ask people for this. I really thought this was not, I really thought this wasn't going to pan out this far. But in reality, it has panned out this far. Homelessness is something that when people in the job center find out you're homeless, they look at you in a different way. Like, what? But you look so clean. So homelessness is supposed to have a picture and an identification card? What the fuck? What, I'm supposed to look like a dirt bag and dirty pants and a dirty hat and a dirty clothes and skin? I'm supposed to dress like that? So you want homeless people to what? I'm not supposed to have $150 pair of shoes on? Those are nice boots. How can you afford that if you're homeless? You see that? And this is why I ask people, what happened before I was homeless? What life did I have before? See? People don't get it. People want to jump to conclusions. People want to make assumptions. And this is why people stop trying to cash in on homelessness. If you want to cash in on homelessness, let that person tell that story. And let that person be genuine about the story. Because there are a lot of homeless people that make up shit. There was a video, I told the guy, listen, that doesn't make sense. Why would the state kidnap her children and she's homeless, but she's still in the state? That's a mental health problem, sir. Yes, it's a story, but I won't take it seriously because I did the background check, friends. She said her name and her last name. If you do a CCAP check, you found out that she didn't have any children. This is what I'm telling everybody. If you don't know what CCAP is, you do a background check on people. It's not just to make sure. You want to make sure that everything they say is legitimate. This is why I ask you guys to do a CCAP check on me. Go Google me. Google me. And I guarantee you won't find anything criminal or wrong or anything. Anything. You might see something in Japan about me being arrested trying to break up a fight, etc., etc. But other than that, you can see my university pictures. You're gonna see pictures of me and my wives, my children, my child, my students, everybody. And that's the thing. You guys make these stories about me now, but you don't know my previous life. So when I told my previous life, people just forgot about what I said in the Invisible People video. This is why I said I used to work for a state government office doing the same thing that New York City and every other city is doing, helping homeless people get out of poverty. Their rights were, the civil rights, the Constitution, and the human rights were being violated. Yes, I snitched and tell on some very important people in that facility because it's the wrong thing to do. And I'm the one being disliked in my videos now. I did the right thing for the right purpose. And I'm being the one being disliked. Think about that, ladies and gentlemen. It makes no sense whatsoever. It makes no sense. I did something that you wanted me to do. Imagine if I didn't do that and I continue to let that happen. Guess what? I could continue to be working there knowing that I am breaking the law too. I am breaking the law by violating your rights. That I know what is going on. Yes, I could be held responsible if someone else finds out. It's like, wait, you're supposed to be this so-called activist. You just worked in Portland, you did work in Seattle, you did work in Vancouver. Why not do the work here? See? And when I do the work, you got people that work in the workspace that literally want to literally say, oh, I'm doing this illegal, I'm doing this illegal, I'm stealing time. Yeah, they try to say I steal time. How can you steal time when it's salaried? My job was salary-based. Not stealing time when I'm clocking in between this time and that client. That's not stealing. See? But I digress. The point of that story was that I tried to do the right thing, and you should do the right thing, YouTubers that are trying to cash in on the homeless pandemic. I'm calling this the homeless pandemic because there are young people. If we go to Manhattan right now, you see white, black, Asian, mixed, Spanish, young people, mixed people, older people, my age, homeless in New York City. You were like, what? That man didn't look homeless for a second, and now when he picks up his bags, I'm like, oh wow, that's mind-blowing. This is why I wrote something on the community board on YouTube about the night that it was raining, and on the subway, everyone was bitching about my experience. Listen, these are people that deliver your food every day. These are people that literally do the Grubhub and all that stuff, and they are homeless out here. They still cannot afford to do rent in New York City. Shit. This is what I was saying, that I should just go back to Osaka, because rent in Osaka, Japan, is cheaper than in New York City. I can literally find like a tiny apartment in Osaka for at least 20,000, 30,000 yen. You guys want to know what 20, 30,000 yen is? That's the equivalent of like 350 US dollars. But right now, the yen's currency, oh my panda, it's not in good shape at all. And my Citibank is in Japan. I have a Citibank Japan account. This is what I tell people, like, yeah, I'm just gonna pay my fair share of my fees while I'm out here, my bills, and there's a certain amount you're supposed to keep in an account. But yeah, and Citibank doesn't. I'm gonna be honest. Citibank doesn't have the good interest rates at all. It's just terrible. But listen, folks, stop cashing in on homeless people's stories. Literally, that's what you're doing. That's literally deceiving and misleading the community on why you're doing it. You should literally tell people, like, listen, I am starting YouTube videos because I think it'd be a good idea to also make my channel grow so I could grow a media channel. When you tell your audience that you want to grow a media channel, that means you want to start a Patreon, a PayPal, or some type of like response to support the channel. See, you can separate your income revenue from the donations to help people. See, if you have a Pateron YouTubers, you can set that up. But no, you don't want to set that up. You want people directly donate to your PayPal, your Cash App. And here's the sneaky part about that. And listen very carefully, ladies and gentlemen. These are people that literally want you to donate to their PayPal, Cash, or Venmo, not to a GoFundMe account that is organized by the YouTuber, but the person that is supposed to receive it should be in control of that GoFundMe account. And that is why I have a problem with these YouTube channels, because they only have one link. Some will only have a Venmo, some will only have a PayPal, and that's not how it works, friend. Should not be going to you, because you know why? You have to pay a certain amount of taxes on that donation. So when I receive donations, ladies and gentlemen, PayPal takes their little share of their 3%. Then I have to transfer that amount to my debit card. So when you donate to me, I still have to pay a cash out to my debit card or to my credit card. See, I still have to give money and pay my taxes. So this is why I'm going to tell to YouTubers now, if you receive donations more than $500, you're going to have to file the taxes, friend. If you do not file the taxes, friend, you're going to be in trouble. Sorry, everybody. I forgot that my phone is dying. If you heard everything I said, I do apologize. If the video was blurred out, I do apologize. I don't know what's up with the iPhone when it goes down to 20% and then it stops everything. Apple, stop doing that. Just notify me that it's 20% and don't idle anything. But anyway, friends, I'm just trying to say, stop trying to profit over homeless people. It's so wrong. It's so wrong. And these YouTube channels, yeah, me and another YouTube channel that is pretty famous about making interviews of homeless people literally caught this other YouTuber last night saying, I don't believe you honestly doing this for the people. He called it out. And I'm glad that he called it out. I am so glad that he called it out. Because I saw the inconsistency. I just saw someone that's trying to make money off of YouTube and off of someone's misery. That's what I saw. I didn't see no passion behind the questions. No thought was thought in those questions. Where have you been? Where are you from? Okay? Those are decent comments. Like, no, why are you homeless and where are you from and what made you homeless today? How old are you? Those are the questions he didn't ask, really. We never got the person's age. We never got the person's backstory. It was more about what she's doing now and what she wants to do, or what he wants to do now, and what. And like, I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen, but another YouTuber that is famous for doing this, I'm not going to say it until he proves that this YouTuber is literally soaking up the. I'm going to wait till this other YouTuber, because we are talking on Instagram right now, back and forth. We're going to catch these YouTubers and they act. If you want to help homeless people get out of poverty, do the right thing. If you're a YouTuber, you want to catch their stories, do the right thing. Separate the donations from your income. If people want to support your channel, set up a Patreon. If people want to support your channel directly, set up other entities where it goes to your channel. Don't take donations that say, oh, this is for the person that you interview. Can you give this to her? Or give this to them? Or give this to him? You don't keep it for yourself and then lie about the amount you give, because someone in the comments is going to say, did you give that to her? She's going to watch your videos. Remind you that person will watch your videos from time to time, and they're going to read those comments, and you don't think they're going to read the comments. Don't be fooled. People are not that stupid. So with that said, everyone, I'm going to end this story.